Hey guys, it's the Gundam Boy, and we always talk about offensive weapons in the game. And no, not that offensive one. That one is just offensive to look at. But we have a vast amount of offensive weapons, but why don't we look at some of the few defensive stratagems? Today, divers, we are looking at the Ballistic Shield. Today's video is chosen by North Eevee. If you want to see something that you guys want me to cover, just leave it in the comments down below, and maybe I'll get to it. We will start off with looking at the good old buggy weapon, the Ballistic Shield. It takes up a backpack slot, and its combat role is providing defense. It allows you to stand your ground against marching hordes of bots or Illuminate, or just anybody that tries to shoot you, even teammates. And it won't really serve a combat purpose against bugs, but I'll cover that in just a second. The Ballistic Shield only needs one hand to hold it up, so it allows you to hold a weapon that has that one-handed tag to be held, like my peener. But we got a limited pool of single-handed primary weapons, that being any of the SMGs except for the Reprimand, and also the crossbow. You can use the crossbow. But when it comes to secondary weapons, any of these secondary weapons can be used with the shield, which gives you way more options. And due to the nature of it only being a backpack item, you still have a space for a support weapon. So we'll look at how it fares against the first faction, and major warning, do not bring this against the bugs. It literally blocks nothing. If you want a defensive shield for bugs, I just go with the shield generator backpack, because it's called a ballistic shield, not a melee shield, apparently. They're very specific. Here's me getting beat to death by a couple of bugs. If it can't block these guys, it's not gonna stop anything else. It'd be cool if it blocked melee damage, but I don't know how Arrowhead would realistically do that. They might touch the code wrong and then send the FRVs flying in every direction every time we gotta call it in. But when it comes to dealing with the Illuminate, there's a bit more you can go up against. It won't protect you against the melee of the zombies, but we can use it to tank shots from the Overseers, and when it comes with the elevated ones, because those guys just don't stop pulling the trigger. Since these shooter gooners never stop bursting their plasma everywhere, it really allows you to put the work in on them, because Senator can put a big ol' hole where the head was. And against the tripods, you'll look like an ant under a magnifying glass. Assuming, alright, mind you, assuming that the tripod could hit you with the laser. For some reason, when I put the shield up, it has a lobotomized brain and doesn't know where to aim. I swear to God, this happened with the Factory Strider once. For like some reason, it just couldn't see you when you put the shield up. So it fires its laser for like a split second and then blasts you with electric because it doesn't know what else to do. Yeah, and I found this out while I was still recording, by the way. Like, I was like, oh man, I can't really test the damage on the shield if it doesn't hit me. And eventually it started hitting me when I broke my shield. So I guess good for confusing the tripod? Now, lastly, we have the Automatons. When it comes against the Automatons, this Ballistic Shield gets the most benefit. Since the Automatons never stop shooting even if they can't see you, you can advance safely knowing you're not gonna get your head blown off. Maybe. The Ballistic Shield can block tons of things, from troopers, Devastator, heavy devs, turret emplacements, and even shredder tanks, which is really odd. It gives you a lot of options for soaking damage. And just don't challenge things like base turrets and tanks, because you're not gonna win this one. Fun fact, you can block the chain guns on the front of the Factory Strider, and in the past, when the Ballistic Shield was up, the Factory Strider just couldn't see you. Like it had like that weird thing babies do. Ooh, he's gone! Your survivability goes up, but you have to keep in mind how you engage in combat, since you're probably going to be using things like an SMG. Let's just say the engagement range for an SMG is pretty small. And there's only two directions you can go with this weapon. Like a treadmill, it's either forward or back into the wall behind you, embarrassing you in front of all the women. Regarding its support weapon, you can either go a crowd control, or run more of an anti-tank role. You have access to things like Stalwart, Machine Gun, Arcthar, HMG, Laser Cannon, Railgun, AMR, Quasar, Eats, Commando. You have quite a bit of options to select. Fun thing about the Ballistic Shield is if you're trying to run away, you could slap this shield on your back to tank shots from anything. It will also block shots while you just passively walk around. Since the shield is on your left arm, whatever's coming from that direction is going to be denied. You can have a pissing match with the heavy devs. And now your armor can be helpful with increasing your survivability, because like a woman on a dating app, you will not be able to block them all. Heavy armor gives you the most protection, and especially if you have the explosive resistance, but light gives you better mobility for faster positioning. I usually prefer to use medium with the explosion resistance because it helps with protecting you while staying mobile. I don't know why I said it like that. A notable combo that I see used often is crossbow and shield. Typically these people blow themselves up in their own little corner, but I can see what they're trying to do. They're typically trying to block all the shots and blow up as many people as they can, including themselves. And you. Alright, see you later, bye.